All right, Nick, let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this free agency period, the Steelers, they came out. Everyone knows there's still a big hole in this roster they need to fill, but they went out and they made a really, really great pickup as well. I think this is going to be something for the opposite side of the ball of where their biggest need right now is. This is going to be very, very helpful to them. I think it was a really great pickup, smart move by the Steelers. We'll get this and break it down in just a moment. But first, I'm Andrew, that's Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, Nick, as I alluded to, obviously we know the quarterback position is still open for the Steelers, but I think there's some good stuff I have later on showing that I think the Steelers got it under control. I think their new player think they have it under control, but nonetheless, they've picked up a big time playmaker for the defensive side of the ball and none other than Darius Slay. Let's get into the article and we'll talk more about it on the other side. This is from ESPN, and it says Darius Slay Jr. has agreed to a 1-year, fully guaranteed $10 million deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The veteran quarterback's agent told Adam Schefter. In adding Slay, the Steelers have landed a proven playmaker to pair with 2023 second-round pick Joey Porter Jr., adding him to a secondary that also has Pro Bowl safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and run-stuffing safety Deshaun Elliott. Nick, I think this was really good pickup. I think it adds a lot of value to this defensive backfield for the Pittsburgh Steelers in more ways than one. Curious what your thoughts are on this one, but before we get to you, Steelers fans, in the comment section below, what do you think of the Slay pickup? I know there's a lot of other guys that are on this Steelers team. They've had a pretty solid free agency start so far, but I think Slay was really a really great pickup. Do you give it an A? Do you think this really helps out this secondary, gets it to the level where it needs to be? You give it a C, you're kind of so-so on it, not 100% sure how he's going to do. Or do you give it an F? Do you hate it? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what are your thoughts on this latest move by the Steelers?
It's a lot smarter than people are giving it credit for. And people kind of forget when it comes to the Steelers because all eyes are on the offense and namely the quarterback position. That when you look at the weaknesses of their team, according to the grades over at PFF, I know a lot of people, especially in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh fandom, aren't necessarily huge fans of PFF, but they're objective, they're analytical, they're consistent in terms of their approach. So they're a good measuring stick. So the worst characteristic for the Steelers last season was their pass blocking grade. Makes sense. They had a lot of injuries, certainly early on, 24th in the NFL. Their second worst actually was their coverage grade, 23rd in the NFL. So as good as their defense was in the front seven, and they had some stars in the back end, overall they needed to add some good cover corners, some good tackling corners, and Slay is 100% that kind of guy. So I went down and I broke the analytics down in terms of Slay against the median corner among the top 80 corners in the NFL, just to say, okay, where does Slay rank up in terms of what I would consider a decent caliber, starting caliber corner? And let's go ahead and pull up the chart here so that way everyone can see it. So you can see in the blue, that's Darius Slay's numbers, the median corners in red. You can see PFF coverage grade, Slay is significantly better. PFF tackling, Slay is way better, not even close. And overall grade, Slay is noticeably better. So in terms of what I would consider a quality caliber starting cornerback in the NFL, Slay is significantly better than across the board, all three metrics and overall, right? So this is obviously from that perspective, a good addition for the Steelers based on that alone, right? Position of need, they need to get better at cover, and they got a guy who's really good at covering. He's significantly better than what a decent starter would be. And they also got him at a relatively cheap deal, $10 million a year. 1-year deal. So again, not breaking the bank, not mortgaging the future. But here's where it gets really interesting. So when you compare Slay against the median, he looks good, but he also looks good when you compare him against stars who got big deals or guys that people think are going to be stars. Let's talk about DJ Reed, signed with the Detroit Lions, formerly of the New York Jets. He got $6 million per year more, 60% more on an annualized basis than Darius Slay. But when you look at the numbers here, and you can see on the screen, we're going to compare Darius Slay and DJ Reed now. Slay is still in blue, Reed is in red, and you can see here, Darius Slay still is better than DJ Reed on all categories, coverage, tackling, and overall grade. So no matter how you look at it, this was an incredible job by the Pittsburgh Steelers. They got a player at a significant discount to market value, right? DJ Reed got $16 million per year, but he wasn't the only one, right? A quality starting cornerback rate this offseason was around 15 to 18 million bucks. The Steelers got about 60% of that cost in terms of what they gave up for Slay, and they got a guy who's not only better than the median corner, a quality corner, he's better than the top of the market or close to the top of the market guys like DJ Reed. And it's not just DJ Reed. If you look at Lenore, if you look at Carlton Davis, Slay's statistics are better than all those guys, or if he's not better, he's right at the same level. This was a great job by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, dressing a need. Coverage grade was a serious problem for Pittsburgh. People forget. You look at the loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, the Ravens losses, right? It just coverage, some stuff against the Bengals every now and then, right? We know this is a team that, while they're good on defense, covering people at times was a liability last year. Honestly, they lost to the Dallas Cowboys because Dak Prescott 3 for 380 is best game of the season by far, right? They should have won that game in Pittsburgh. Coverage was a big problem for the Steelers multiple times last year. All eyes were on the offense, but that was a significant area they needed to upgrade. They went out and got it done at a big discount for a player here that's better than a lot of people are giving him credit for, a lot better in some cases. When you look at the raw, unbiased numbers, phenomenal job by Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Nick, I gotta agree with you here. I think this was a great move for, even if you look past the stats, the numbers, what he brings to the table as a veteran to this young group of corners, I think is really important for a guy like Darius Slay. And people wonder, what is he gonna do? How is he gonna react? Is he gonna be a good mentor? And in his press conference, that's actually the first thing that he brings up as far as what he wants to do. He says, that's one of the biggest roles I like to take. Just help mentoring younger guys because a guy did that to me. I got to return the favor. That's how I do it. I do it with genuine love, not by force. I want them to be great. I want them to be better than me. So I think that's really strong that first off, Darius Slay is saying, hey, I'm coming in here, even on my 1 year type of deal, prove it style deal. I'm really looking towards the younger guys. I want to bring them up with me. You got a lot of great guys on this team with Porter, with Beanie Bishop Jr., a lot of great young DBs in this locker room. I want to tutor them. I want to be their mentor. I think that's important nowadays. I don't think we see that happen as often as it should in the league. So Slay already coming out and saying in his first press conference, that's one of the things that really kind of he hangs his hat on. I love to hear that. Secondly, I think that this is something where a lot of guys were kind of afraid to come to the Steelers because of the quarterback situation. But Slay, he addressed that as well. He says, I've watched this organization for a long time. I've seen what Coach Tomlin has done. I've seen the winning, resumes that they have. I'm not afraid. I think they're going to figure it out. And he's talked about how he talked with Tomlin, he talked with Rooney, and just he's not afraid of the quarterback position. He think the Steelers, they got a plan. I think they're going to execute it well. And knowing that Slay was coming to Pittsburgh, I think that he knows that they have it all figured out. So overall, I just think this is a great guy to come in to Pittsburgh. And not only is Slay, a great mentor, and he's able to fit the Steelers mold in that way, he fits it in. Steelers fans are thinking, this guy's 34 years old. What all can he bring to the table? Are we going to be able to utilize an older guy in our cornerbacks team? And you've done it before. You remember Patrick Peterson 2 years ago. They brought him in, able to get 2 picks that year. He was very serviceable as a DB for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were able to move him around, get him in a lot of advantageous positions for himself. I think overall, Slay fits the Steelers very well in multiple ways. You showed the numbers. Slay's overall better than the median guy. He's better than the good guys out there in free agency. I think he's a good fit for the Steelers. I think he wants to mentor the young guys. So I think they just made a home run with this move, no matter which way you look at it.
You bring up a great point when it comes to the mentorship, right? Because if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles cornerback room, they had 2 rookies who were phenomenal: Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo, DeJean, of course, out of Iowa. And all these rookies doing well. Credit to them. They did a phenomenal job having the mentality, the great maturity, and obviously the athletic talent and execution. Veteran coach and Vic Fangio. But let's not undersell the importance of having a guy like Darius Slay being a veteran corner with those guys, showing them the ropes, getting them through the ups and downs of the NFL season, right? Credit is due to Mitchell and DeJean for how they played, but the mentorship of having a guy in your meeting room, your position room, in the locker room, right next to you, who's been there before, who's done this for, the better part of 12, 13 years at this point, that's a valuable tool to have. And if you look at the Steelers' younger quarterback room, like Joey Porter Jr., like Bishop, you brought up those guys up as phenomenal examples. They're very talented, kind of frisky guys with bright futures. We've seen a lot of good things out of Joey Porter Jr. specifically. I think bringing a guy like Slay to kind of be that sounding board, be that mentor, help them take their game to the next level, like he did with young Quinion Mitchell and like he did with young Cooper DeJean, could be exactly what the Steelers need to turn that coverage grade, again, 23rd in the NFL, into an absolute strength. We're talking top 10, top 8, top 6. Because this is a team in the Steelers, they've got the talent. They needed another good cover corner. Slay is obviously that guy. Like you said, we broke down the numbers, but his ability to also elevate the other guys around him is an invaluable asset that'll help push the Steelers defense to the next level.